how do we even do this? We haven't done this for so long now.
I know.
It feels like too long.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
It's fine.
If you guys don't already follow us anywhere else, how fucking dare you, first of all?
What are you doing?
You can actually find all of our links to all of our social medias and channels and all that stuff down below in the description box of every single podcast video. But I have been sick for like a good solid 2 weeks or so. My husband and I had some fucking tonsillitis. That was fun.
Yay.
So I literally couldn't talk. So we actually just I couldn't even get out of bed for a few days. So it was actually really rough. Yeah, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. It's too raw still because it just happened. So
yeah. Oh,
but yeah, obviously we couldn't record any episodes for you guys, and we're new to this, so we haven't been organized as to pre-record some episodes. But maybe we'll get on top of that in the future in case anything happens.
Oh, we've been so busy and sick and stressed and all these things that pop up at the end of the year and just smash you in the face, and we're here to smash you in the face.
I can't remember when our last episode was, but one of our last ones, it might have been the second last one, I don't know, was about the launch of your business, Trashy. So yeah, you've obviously been extremely busy with that, and you have another full-time job, and you've got lots of other things going on. But if you guys haven't seen it or listened to any of the previous episodes, there's a design, so you can either listen to them or watch them. It's up to you. The one that I'm talking about specifically is the Trash Mama Wig episode that we did, all about Trashy's brand new business that just launched recently. But that one's more of a watching video, I would say, because there's a lot of visual stuff in it. You can still definitely listen to it, but yeah. Over to you, Trashy. What are we doing today?
Yeah, cool. All right, so let's just start off by saying hi, hello.
Yes, it is. It is good to see you. It's good to see you.
How is everyone?
I feel like we've been cramming heaps of catching up time in lately, just because we didn't see each other for a million years. It was 2 weeks, but come on, it felt too long. It did.
Yeah. No, it's been really good. I think we've vibed off each other every single day of just being like, hey, what's up? Hey, here's a funny meme, you asshole. Thank you.
I feel like it's been needed lately, We've had some other drama that a little bit of shared drama that unfortunately we're not going to talk about it today. Maybe in the future, who knows? I'm not going to rule it out completely, but we probably won't because it's not really worth talking about, honestly. It has kind of put a little bit of a damper on things recently, but it is what it is. And we're honestly just trying to live our lives without these kind of things happening. But sometimes other people have things. They just want to I don't know. I feel like it's always the people who mind their own business that get the most. People just want to fucking mess with their day. It's do you fucking mind?
Yeah. I'm just trying to live.
I'm not interested. I'm interested in fucking zero to do with this drama, honestly. It's just the worst though when it's just put on you and you have no choice. And then all of a sudden you're just hey, what is this? What the fuck do I don't know how to handle it.
I know. You think you move away from high school and it just follows you back and you're like,
adults are fucking terrible. What the fuck? When I was in high school, I was like, this sucks. But some people, I mean, obviously some people do change and evolve, but other people really fucking don't. I'm is this the fucking Stone Age, dog? Are we just all here arguing over the one fucking manly guy who's going to give us the best chance of carrying on our species? We're not cave people. What the fuck? No. Anyway, I feel like that's enough about that.
All right, well, back to it. Welcome back to the Snacks and Relax podcast. We'll actually get to an intro today.
Yeah.
Bring it back. We need to have an intro song that we dance to or something.
Yes. I don't know what, but let's dance and I'll put some music in over.
If you're wondering if this is what we're like in real life, this is exactly it.
Yeah, there's zero. What do you call it? There's zero fake personas going on here. This is just what you see is what you get. I
Authenticity
don't know what
guarantee,
you meant.
bitch.
I was like doing this. Am I waving? I don't know. That was a weird moment.
Like How I Met Your Mother. What do I do with my hands normally?
I was like, in my brain, I was like, but my hands were doing it at the same time. So they were like
Yeah.
doing this. I'm like, do I do this? I'm like, do I do a thumbs up? Do I wave? So I just did a weird combination of like all three of them. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, when I don't know what to do, I do like this, or like I do like finger
same. Or
guns
you're
or
just like,
something.
I do it all the
Like
time.
someone's
Like,
staring at you for too long, and you're like,
yeah,
take
you're
a
just like,
picture, it lasts longer.
oh god. So this old man who served me at the reject shop today, because I grabbed a couple of Christmas things and candy canes and stuff.
Yep.
He was like, what do you call that hair color? And I don't know. It was kind of like, I don't mind. I just answer people's questions anyway, because like I can't be bothered like starting a thing like. And usually
Sure.
I'm just polite anyway, even if some people aren't necessarily being polite. Like usually when people ask me stuff about hair or whatever else, like sometimes they generally are being nice or curious or whatever. But he was just like, it was just like one of those weird old men things where they're like, oh, so like what's going on here? You know, it was like mildly irritating. It wasn't like he's not the fucking target market for my fucking YouTube videos where I'm going to tell him like
Sure.
what brand of hair dye I use and where to buy it. Like, so I'm just like, I don't know why he's asking me, but I just like did the thing where I was polite and I was like, I was like, it's called Caution UV, and he's like, never heard of it, and I'm like, of course you fucking haven't. I don't know why you're asking me my fucking hair.
Yeah.
Oh, like he clearly doesn't dye his hair. Like,
God.
anyway, it was just like one of those weird things that some people just have to do without. They just want to interact with you in a fucking weird ass awkward way and make you uncomfortable. I'm like, why though? I don't know. Ah.
It's
And
people that have
looking
to
back at
talk.
it, yeah, looking back at it now, I'm like, I kind of wish. I'm like, not that I want to be a dick or anything, but I kind of wish I had been just like, listen, I don't want to. You clearly don't care about my hair, so like, I don't really want to talk to you about my hair. Like, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but like, you're being a bit of a dick, and I feel like, why should I have to put up with it? You're getting paid to serve me right now at the checkout. I'm like, not trying to be an asshole. I'm always polite to customer service people, but like,
I don't know.
what do you want, man? What do you want from me,
I'm
old
kind of a
man?
cunt when it comes to that sort of stuff because I'm just like, I just want to buy my thing and go, guy.
Yeah, I do, but I try to be nice still, but I really am very much like
Or
that.
just a
Like,
snarky
I'm like,
remark, like I whizzed on it.
like,
Like
what?
I whizzed on it.
On my hair or something. It's dog
Like,
pee.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like the Grinch when he's just like he puts on clothing and he's like, ooh, yes. He's like spinning constantly. That's me.
That he sprays in his mouth too. Like, do you remember that bit?
Yeah.
He's like,
that's it. I'm not going. Like that's me.
I can't remember what the scent is of the perfume, but it's like, it's basically like stinky old something or other. The Grinch is such a good fucking movie, and you know what? All the remakes I've seen of it have actually been pretty good too. Like, I like the animated ones and stuff. Not bad.
That's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah. I realize we haven't even told people what we're doing.
Oh my god. All right, we get on a tangent. Okay.
What are we talking about today, Trashy?
Yeah, all right.
10 minutes. Oh god, 10 minutes already, and just because I had to complain about some petty ass thing. I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
Some guy who was literally just asking you about your hair color, not even saying anything rude. Like, you know, like some old people, right? When they see someone with colored hair, they're like, "Oh, did you fuck a parrot?" Yeah, and your mum at the same time. Like,
that's the vibes he was giving me, though. Like,
yeah,
it was very clear to me his intentions were, that very much that, and not just curiosity, which is fine. I don't mind if people don't understand or haven't seen something before. Like, you know.
I still hang on. I really love hitting them with the curiosity killed the cat, you know.
It might have.
What? Curiosity killed the cat.
The microphone was there. I'm just like dunking it in my coffee.
did that last week. I had a big like cup. I think it was this one. I had like coffee. Yeah, it's just coffee.
Oh, that is a big cup.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
you forget they have the straw and you tip it up. Did you?
Yep.
Have you done that before? Oh my god. Oh,
so
mistakes
stupid.
been made.
Anyway. Chop chop. We are talking about conspiracy theories.
We are. Oh, we're about to.
I don't know why I'm doing this.
I always forget how the X-Files theme song goes. It's like, do 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 do. Okay.
You're like, yeah. You just like vibing along, like, dude. Everyone else like, what the fuck is this? It's so fucking good. It's such a jam.
It is, and you know what? They did you see the remakes? You know, the later thing that they did like I think it came out like last year or really recently.
I still need to watch the series.
They made new
in
ones.
general.
It was good. I was like, dang, it's still good. Fuck.
Okay.
Because it could really go either way, or it could just be really underwhelming at the very least. But like, it was good. I'd recommend it to you guys.
Okay. Because like my sister and my mum was really into it when she was a teenager. So she got my sister onto it, and I was like, a bit iffy on it. I was like, oh, whatever. It's a bit corny, so it was a little bit hard to get into. But then we like started sort of watching. I'm like, ooh, so I need to just go back and just watch them from start to finish properly, not just like choppy.
And not to spoil anything, because I think it is. I mean, maybe it might feel like a spoiler, but really, it's just the theme of the show. So once you've seen one episode, you've seen them all. Like, not that they're not different and interesting and funny and whatever, but the premise of every single episode is, could it be an alien? And then they never ever confirm that it is an alien or anything.
I cannot confirm or deny.
They never confirm, even though it's implied that it might still be on several occasions. They never confirm in the show. The people in the show, like, they never confirm it in their real life, not in real life. So it does continue that way. It is just how it is. Like, it's fantastic though. Like, adds an extra layer where you, as the viewer, are like, oh, okay, like, aliens are real, or in that universe, but they just never really work it out. I don't know.
Yeah, it was just like, it was more of like, it wasn't just aliens, which is what kind of like gripped me, because I thought it was just aliens. I was like, oh god, we're gonna be here.
There's all kinds of weird
all kinds of that's really cool. All right, so conspiracy theories, my dude, let's go.
I thought that we would start off today. I have some stuff here from you guys over on Instagram. I just posted asking you guys to give us hang on, let me check what I fucking asked you guys. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just saying things. So I asked, what conspiracy theories do you guys believe in? And then I also asked you guys, which conspiracy theories do you think are ridiculous? Now, these are obviously going to be anonymous. I'm not going to say anybody's names or anything. I'm going to go ahead and read out a couple that people actually believe are true. So these are conspiracy theories, as in they're not confirmed, but these are ones that people actually believe are true. Okay? Wow, so first of all, we've got Marilyn Monroe was murdered by the administration. Interesting. I don't really know anything much about that. Shall we do a little Google search? I actually don't really.
Okay, so we know that she was fucking the president. Not going to sugarcoat that.
Is that confirmed? Is that that is confirmed. For real.
It's confirmed. Yes, she was having an affair, or he was having an affair with her.
Right.
I don't know how that sort of works in the sentence if it's the other way around. And essentially, what the theory is, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
That because she was sort of fucking around and was kind of like radicalizing him almost, and like he was sort of possibly telling her
so
stuff.
Her death was ruled as a possible suicide because she was lying on her bed with a telephone in one hand, empty bottles of pills prescribed. They were prescription pills. They were empty. They were little all around the room. So they ruled her death caused by self-administered overdose of sedative drugs, and that the mode of death is probable suicide. So it doesn't actually still definitely say it was suicide. It says they believe it was suicide, but just given the facts that they actually have, which is obviously potentially not everything, but it is kind of suspicious. Like, why would, I mean, not to talk about, I don't know, I don't want to know how grim we want to fucking be today, but like, if I was going to do this thing, right, and take all those pills and stuff, I don't think I'd be naked. Like, if I was going to intentionally take the pills, not as if, like, you know, I'm just going to take a bunch of pills to have a good time. Like, no, like, I mean, some people like being nude, but like that feels more like an accident if you're nude and you're just like going to sleep or whatever. But then if she took so many, it's hard to believe it's an accident. But the fact that she's nude, lying face down, and has a telephone in one hand is kind of a weird ass fucking situation, don't you think?
Oh, see, I don't know. Like, this is gonna get kind of dark, like a little bit. I'm not gonna go too into it, but like.
Yeah.
Drug overdose is something that
if you guys ignored those warnings, it's on you, dog.
Is the internet on your side all right? It's a bit fuzzy.
Oh, did something happen?
You're frozen.
Am I back?
Oh, yep. Okay, cool.
Oh.
All right.
I'm not frozen on my side.
All right, cool. So to me, what it like, sure, everyone conspiracy, like, oh, she was having sex with the president, oh, he was telling her too much things, so then they killed her. They could have.
Oh, okay. So here we go. This is what it says, Trashy. It says, there have been a number of conspiracy theories about her death, most of which contend that she was murdered by John and or Robert Kennedy, with whom she allegedly had a love affair. So they haven't actually confirmed that she did. Like, they have no undeniable proof that she had those affairs. It's just alleged in this case that she had affairs.
A lot.
Yeah. So obviously there's some evidence, but there's not enough to confirm that.
It's not like I saw them having sex. Like,
yeah, exactly. But it's not straight up evidence.
But you know, you can put two and two together, kids.
So basically, the conspiracies say they feared that she would make their love affairs public, and other government secrets that maybe she knew about, whether it was intentional or not. So yeah, obviously that whole thing that's pretty wild. I mean, if it's kind of weird that she'll be so involved with like presidents and stuff, I think. Don't you think? I mean, she was pretty famous and stuff, and it was kind of common when back in that time, but also it's still weird to me. Like, I don't know.
I think she honestly knew what she wanted, and she went for it, you know, like
yeah, I mean,
why wouldn't you?
Can't deny that, yeah. But I'm going to say my opinion, just based on only what I currently know, is that I think it's plausible. I don't feel too strongly either way, whether or not I believe it was a suicide or whether it wasn't. But then again, even if it wasn't a suicide, it could have been a number of any other things or people potentially. You know, she's a very well-known actress / whatever else.
In that time, though, there was a lot of like just doing drugs in general was just sort of like a sort of normal party thing to do as like a famous person. So I assume that for her to cope with stress or whatever that she was going through, that she probably just took a bunch of drugs and then just like passed out.
I mean, they were her own prescription drugs, but she would have known how many to take and everything, right? So the fact that there was empty bottles everywhere, she must have taken and she was weird because, you know, I mean, maybe they were a bit more lax back then, but it's still suspicious that she would have so many prescriptions. Like, you know, the doctor would usually be like, okay, you've asked for a fucking couple in a row, like, you know, that's a bit weird. I don't know, like, would you have to go to multiple fucking doctors and get that many prescriptions? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not saying that it's as strict or, you know, like it is now, but still would cause some, like, alarms for people. Like, if you go to the chemist, even then, and we're like, hey, I want to buy fucking 10 bottles of my prescription. Like,
Now you
they'd be
can't
like,
even
you
buy
don't
2 pounds
really
in
fucking
Nurofen
need
without
10 bottles.
someone thinking you're a
Yeah.
meth head.
I'm not saying that it wouldn't have been slightly different times, but I
Sure.
still think that there's just a lot of red flags in this story. I'm going to say my final decision is plausible, but I just don't have enough information to call it either way. And like I mentioned from the information from the website, the love affair thing is still alleged. It has not been confirmed as well, so it's still it's so many gray areas. Like, it's hard to know what to think. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think personally, I just think she died on accident, to be honest. Like, it's not hard to
possible.
die
It's
of a
very
drug overdose.
Oh no, definitely not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
I mean,
Like,
there's a
sure,
reason
she
a lot
might have.
of people do it that way because
Yeah,
a lot of the time, what happens to you is you actually just go to sleep and then you just don't wake up. You know, especially if you're taking something that
yeah,
makes you go to sleep. You know, or the side effects, drowsy and stuff. Like,
yeah.
so
I used to have. I wouldn't call her a friend, but like a person in high
yeah.
school who died of a
Hmm.
drug overdose, and she went to sleep, and they thought that she was snoring, but she was actually like choking and dying,
Oh
which is
God.
awful. But look, it happened a long, long, long time ago.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably a fucking common ass thing that's happened to people or just over time, like
Yeah,
you
look, a
just
lot of
think
people in
they're
high school
sleeping
did
and
their
they're
stomach
they
pump.
oh they're drunk, they're just passed out, whatever, but they're
No, yeah, they were
nobody
just,
check to see if they're
I
breathing
think it was
properly and
like
stuff.
Nurofen or something. Just it was literally just some just a drug you can
Over the
buy
counter,
over the
yeah.
counter, like you could just go grab it, and it was like no
You
big
can buy
deal.
it from the supermarket. It's not like you don't need a prescription or anything like that,
No,
yeah.
not at all. But yeah, it can happen. So, like, to me, the whole scenario of her, like, just like going into a room, just being like, nah, naked. Like, it's the end of the day. Ugh, I'm done being all this, pretty woman that everyone like made her out to be. This like sex symbol. So she's like, fuck this, like I'm in my room, I'll do whatever I want. And she probably
Yeah.
just popped a ton of pills because she wanted to feel nothing.
You know
Like
what?
in
I
the
do
Queen's
feel like
Gambit.
in that situation, it does make sense that her hand was on the telephone. Maybe she was maybe she realized if it was an accidental death, maybe she realized, fuck me, even if it was intentional in the first place, but then she still realized, well, fucking shit, look what I've done. In either of those situations, it would still make sense for her to try to get the telephone and call somebody to help.
You get drunk, you get high, whatever, you
There's
get
just
hungry.
too many possibilities in this situation for me to rule one way or the other. I'm happy with my plausible. What's yours?
I think it's a little bit too crazy to kind of go like, sure,
It
it's
isn't.
plausible that the government killed them. I'm not saying it doesn't happen within
No,
the government. Like, I do believe in certain conspiracies or whatever,
definitely.
but I feel like this is a little bit of a too far stretch. I don't think the president at the time would have told her if they did have a love affair,
Yeah,
important things. That's a big stretch to tell
yeah.
someone you're just sleeping with.
It is. I mean, we've met some dumbass people before, though. Like maybe that's what he'd like to say when they were in bed. You know what I mean? So that's why I still want to go with my plausible, just because I'm
Okay.
like, I really don't know so much. I reckon we're gonna have to move on to the next one because it's just
Okay,
we could
cool. Sorry.
think too much about these. But we could do an episode of each
Final
one.
is that it is plausible. I agree with you, but I definitely
Are you
I
leaning
agree
towards
that it was just
it?
accidental
Yeah,
suicide.
right.
Yep.
Yeah, I think if I was going to lean one way or the other, I would agree, but I still think it's plausible. So next here we have Area 51 and basically anything ET related. So Area 51 and aliens is what they're saying they very much believe in. So what about you, Area 51? There's a lot to unpack. We're going to have to kind of skim this bit, obviously, because like I said, we still got a couple more of these to talk about.
Yeah, sure. So we'll skip through.
Do you want to go first or me?
Yeah, all right. So there was a time where I used to believe that was a thing, right? Because like there's a really well-made movie about Area 51 and these kids get inside of it and like what they see when they get in there. But
Yeah, some of them are actually
the top
quite
base was nothing. It was just a hangar. It was just for show. But when they went downstairs, down an elevator, that's where all the shit was.
You know, there's always like a lab with an alien being dissected, or there's like an alien, or there's spaceships and they're taking it apart trying to figure out how to work it, or aliens like teaching them how to do something, you know, and sometimes things are really, really convincing, like, you know, you ancient aliens and all those fucking things, you know, unsolved mysteries and things like that. Do I fucking love that shit? I fucking eat that shit up. I love it so much. I love supernatural shit. I fucking love aliens. I love conspiracy theories. But do I necessarily usually actually believe in any of these things at the end of the day? I would say for my own self, I'm only saying for my own self, usually the answer for me is no, like 99% of the time. Yeah. There's obviously exceptions. Do I believe that aliens are real? Fuck yeah, there's scientific proof that aliens exist. Are they little fucking green or grey men walking around, flying around in our fucking, getting seen by people all the time from Earth? Not necessarily, no. There's no evidence of that, I mean, in this case, we're saying the evidence of it is being hidden by the fucking government and whatnot. But, you know, it's hard for me to believe they will be able to cover up every single fucking potential sighting of aliens and whatnot and stuff like that. Like, if we're just talking scientifically and just being real, like, in fucking real in the moment, like, aliens exist, but so far, all we know aliens to exist as are like microorganisms and stuff like that. You know, we haven't found any other really advanced fucking. There's not other like people like humanoid type things walking around like these grey or blue alien, green or grey aliens that you see it like in the movies and stuff like that. So this is hard. I mean, there's been a lot of people connected to Area 51 that have actually spoken out about it and said, hey, like, I do think that's happening there, or I actually saw or heard something there, or blah, blah, blah. And to do with, you know, the crash that happened supposedly in the area there was a crash of some description, but was it a weather balloon or was it a spacecraft? You know what I mean?
I don't know how to feel about that because I mean
I don't know how to feel about it.
Literal meaning of UFO is unidentified flying object. It doesn't mean
that does not mean it's necessarily an extraterrestrial spacecraft. I know in the context of which we are talking about only extraterrestrial spacecrafts and stuff, but a UFO does not mean that. It just means they don't know when they first see it. They're like, "What the fuck is that?" And then
my radar is not picking up that it's a plane.
It doesn't mean that it didn't come from somewhere and has a very good explanation of what the fuck it is and everything like that. I don't know that I'd go so far as to say definitely don't believe that there are any sort of advanced aliens, even potentially humanoid type ones. That just means they kind of shaped-ish like people. You know, for example, grey aliens, they're kind of shaped like people. They obviously look very different, but they're like people-ish shaped, like human-ish sort of. They somewhat resemble the shape of a human, is what I'm saying. Do I definitely not believe that an advanced type of aliens, whether they're humanoid or not, exists anywhere in the fucking universe? No, because the universe is fucking massive, and I cannot
beyond comprehension of how gigantic.
I can absolutely not say for sure that something like that does not exist. Do I really think that I believe they're just like fucking about, like coming to Earth? I don't know what the fuck for. Just to you know what I mean?
Wait till you finish, then I'll say my piece.
People. I don't want to be an asshole. If you believe you have had an encounter or anything like that, I'm not trying to be. I really am not trying to be an asshole. This is just my own personal opinion. I've never obviously had an encounter with an alien. I'm going to go with plausible. I am leaning towards that. I don't believe it's true. I believe aliens are real. Of course, they are real. All an alien is a life form that lives on a different planet. You know, it's not something complicated. It doesn't have to be like a humanoid, like I said. But I just don't. I don't know. I don't know if I believe the government is hiding aliens from us, is what I'm saying. I think
Okay.
it's plausible, sure, but I think it's improbable. I don't think they are necessarily, but I still think it's possible they could be. That's the best I can say in a short period of time.
Okay. All right. So I'll be really quick of what I think. I had a theory one time, a long time ago. Maybe I'm, nuts for thinking it, but I reckon they do exist. I
Mm-hmm.
reckon, and like it makes sense for the government to, here's information the government knows, here is information we know. There is what you need to know and what you don't need to know to continue your life cycle as a human being, and
Right.
to not freak out, like have an existential
I mean,
crisis that there are other
yeah.
life forms, right?
Especially if these are really fucking advanced people that could literally potentially just fucking wipe us out if they wanted to, like,
They
would
probably
the
will.
government necessarily want to tell all people that they fucking exist? You know what I mean? And if that is true, do I think they're necessarily doing the wrong thing? Like, would you want to know that? I honestly don't know. I don't know how
Nah.
to answer the question. I would like to say yes, I want to know the answers because I love fucking wanting to. I want to know the answers to everything, but at the same time, like, you absolutely could not go on living your life the same way, or even
No.
some more. You'd be so fucking blown off course by that. Like, I don't even know what the fuck I would do.
Like the
You know what I mean?
government, when they said that they had proof of UFOs, an
Yeah.
unidentified flying object, not an alien. Just
Right.
want to clarify all over again, because some people are like, aliens, the government has confirmed. No, they did not.
Yeah.
Like, yes, they confirmed that they kept that evidence to themselves because it would create panic at that time that it did happen. And when it came out this year, didn't it? I think it was this year. I don't remember. I don't even remember this year. Anyway, we're not going to do that.
Like, this year, huh? Like, it was a fucking blur.
I'm pretty sure it was this year that they were like, yeah, they're, are these identified flying objects or whatever. And that just might be it. Maybe they have more evidence. I don't know. To be honest, could you think an alien species would even bother with us?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, there's just so much
is that
about them probing us and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, do I think they're flying around probing people? No. I don't want to be an asshole. Like, if you honestly believe a fucking alien has probed you, I am not going to say to you otherwise. I just, from my own experience, do not believe that they are necessarily interested in sticking things up our butts. You know what I mean? Like, probably got better things to do,
Yeah.
I'm trying to say it in a polite way because I don't want to offend anybody. It's not our intention at all in these episodes to offend anybody. It's just casual conversation. Sometimes it gets a little bit intense, but it's generally just a casual conversation about topics that interest us. So, yeah.
Look, I had a theory that maybe they look like us, so we don't notice.
I mean, it's like I said, plausible. All of those things are plausible, really, but
in any case, I don't think that I'm special enough as a human being to even be bothered about. We are a freckle on the arsehole of the universe. Like, nothing. Like, could you imagine the amount of planets and universes and God knows what else that's out there?
Humans are fucking ridiculous.
You think they give a shit about us?
That's honestly what I believe. Like, if intelligent life like us, or way fucking smarter, obviously,
wouldn't bother.
Exists, I don't think it would. Yeah, it would just be like, look at these. It would look onto us as we do onto, like, animals or something like that. It'd be like, look at these fucking plebs walking around. Like, I think they know everything. Look at them in their tiny little fucking bubble. They don't know anything.
If anything, I believe that maybe they're coming in to check on us every now and again. That's why you hear about it a lot. And they're just like, have the humans fucked up the planet again? Yeah, probably. All right, wipe them and we'll try it again. We'll put another species on the planet. We'll figure it out the next time.
That's the rabbit hole for a fucking another day, because that is just too much for my brain to handle. You know what we have next, actually? You're going to like this.
All right.
The next question says, the Illuminati is real. Do you think the Illuminati is real? Let's just do a quick description for everyone listening of what the Illuminati is, in case you're not familiar.
Yes and no.
Yes.
Is what I'm going to say.
T. Okay, so it says, the Illuminati is a name given to several groups, both real and fictitious. Historically, the name usually refers to the Bavarian Illuminati, an Enlightenment-era secret society founded on 1st May 1776 in Bavaria, today part of Germany. So it is actually stems from something that is real, but I think what we think of today, or what they're referring to currently as the Illuminati in this message, is not that original secret society group that actually did exist. This is actually referring to a group which this is actually a thing a lot of people believe in, but it's not something that is confirmed, obviously. These are conspiracy theories.
Okay.
Let me just scroll down to where I can tell you some more information about today's blah, blah, blah. Okay, so Illuminati has referred to various organizations which have claimed or have claimed to be connected to the original Bavarian Illuminati or similar secret societies. Through these links have been... hang on. Come on, brain, you can do this. So that has never been confirmed, like I said. These organizations have often been alleged to conspire to control world affairs by masterminding events and planting agents in governments and corporations in order to gain political power and influence and to establish a new world order. Central to some of the more widely known and elaborate conspiracy theories, the Illuminati have been depicted as lurking in the shadows and pulling the strings and levers of power in dozens of novels, films, television shows, comics, video games, and music videos, and obviously real life as well. So this started as a real secret society which was called the Illuminati or something in Bavaria, Germany or something. I don't know if anything to do with that really even exists anymore. But since then, people in groups, organizations have claimed other people to be, part of this secret society or something that's similar to that. And they just generally refer to them as the Illuminati. I don't know if they have actual proper, they probably have their own names for secret groups like this. But do I think secret groups in society exist? Of course I fucking do. They just started off by saying, yes, that original group did exist in Germany and fucking, I think it was like, what was it, 77 or something? Like, yeah. So that was like fucking some time ago. I mean, not ages, but some time ago. Of course, it's just secret groups. Come on, all it is just people who meet in secret to talk about things and don't make them publicly known. That could be anything. Doesn't necessarily mean bad things also, but generally the reason people would be secretive is not necessarily a good thing. You know what I mean? You know what? This is kind of, for me, I'm going to say, I'm not really sure if I think there is like a whole one organization that comes under the umbrella of the Illuminati. I think when people think of the Illuminati, they think it's one big group and all these different people are involved in the one group. Okay. I do believe, and it has been proven over time, that this is real, that people have been sent, like it said, into like, infiltrate fucking governments or organizations, or that's a real thing people have done during wartime, not during wartime, but in particular during wartime, but also in times of peace. We know they exist. Like, we could fucking Google some names of them right now of people who are publicly known to have been sent somewhere to fucking infiltrate them and have been found out, or have been in some way we have found them out or whatever. So yes, of course they do fucking exist. And I'm sure that we know there are some really corrupt governments and stuff like that. Without a fucking doubt, there are some organizations, some of them might be governments. I'm not saying ours, I don't really think ours, but like, you know, if you think about places where it's really fucking corrupt and horrible, of course there's fucking secret groups of people meeting behind like the backs and going like, hey, we should overthrow these dudes and do this and stuff. That is not, that's, none of this stuff is conspiracy theories. This is all factual stuff that we know has happened and might continue to happen. Like, it's not that, none of that stuff is conspiracy theory related at all. Like, it's real factual stuff. Do I think, though I don't think any of those things are fucking related at all, because there's just so many different people in the world with their little own things and opinions and stuff happening and their own goals.
Got the mafia, you got drug lords, you got the government. Like, you could all be called fucking Illuminati.
You can call, they're just, there's no way that they're all fucking gonna agree and have one goal in common and become this Illuminati, supposedly, that is one organization that exists and has one common goal to rule the world or control the world or whatever. I just don't believe that it's one organization. So I'm going to say no, just because of how this has been. I believe this is what people mean when they say the Illuminati. They believe it's like, you know, a whole big combination coming under one umbrella to do one task.
Yeah.
And that's what it says on the page when I Googled it as well. So I'm going to say no, I don't agree that's true. But all of the things that these, like, you know, groups and stuff are doing, they are true, and we know them to be true. Like I said, they're infiltrating people, like fucking spies. Spies are fucking real. We still have spies. You know what I mean? It's very real. Spies and
undercover cops. And,
undercover people. That's all very, very real. And but the thing is, all of these people, they have their own little goals, and there's no way they would cooperate in order to make one big organization that's worldwide. Like, it's just, and do I believe figures like Beyonce and stuff like that are a part of it? No, I fucking don't. Like,
she literally sang about it in her song.
Yeah.
Your haters corny with that Illuminati mess. Like, why would I want to be a part of it? What makes you think Bay has any time for the Illuminati?
Like, I'm going to ask, like, if you honestly believe, like, there is one big world organization, like, I just don't agree. I believe everything that you're saying. Yes, there is people in power or people behind power or people in the shadows. There's people in all those fucking little crevices everywhere. And they do those things that supposedly the Illuminati does. Like I said, spies, all that kind of stuff, you know. But is it the Illuminati, this one group like that controls the world? No, I don't believe that. I think it's just it's fucking groups and single people just all over the world doing their own fucking thing, you know?
Yep, I agree with you. There was a time when I thought that it was real because I was like convinced after watching, you know, so many conspiracy theories going, oh my God, maybe there's a, but then there was like, you go down the rabbit hole and you're like, and you look up and you're like, why is it pitch black? I'm already dug too deep.
It is.
But there was like a counter argument that like technically you could say anything was Illuminati because of all, like you said, micro groups that are working towards a goal that might be nefarious, that might not be. Who knows? You know?
Are you here? I lost you for a second. It's only the last 5 seconds. I missed what you said the last 5 seconds. You disappeared.
Every sort of company, like, whether it's nefarious or not, like, you could say every company is Illuminati. You could say the government is. Like, everyone's working towards different goals, and sure, they might go through under channels and, you know.
Trying
to get each other's.
All these people, there's just so many people, and they are doing these things, like I said, and it's just this as evidence. You can just fucking Google it. It's not secret or hidden for the most part. I mean, obviously a lot of things we don't know, obviously, but again, do we believe it's just one whole world organization? No for me. Okay, we are actually on a roll here. So this one's got a couple of things they believe in. They said So we've already mentioned Area 51. Okay, so yes, we can pause.
I need to
Okay.
pee.
I thought something was wrong. I was like, what's happening? I was like, was it the Illuminati? That was a terrible joke.
Get out of here.
You okay?
Yes.
You're
Oh,
just
there's
like,
just
get out of
plastic
here.
bags everywhere because of my
I thought
meeting.
your room was so full of wigs, you just like drowning in wigs.
It is. Look at this ironing board. Look at
Oh man,
all of these
wigs
ponytails.
everywhere. They're pretty.
So much. All
So
right.
I think one of these actually is one of the ones that you were talking about. So we'll skip that one. There's one more different one, and then we'll come back to the other one. So we've got here Princess Diana's death. Now that's been mentioned twice now. Two people
Ooh,
said
okay.
Princess Diana was killed by the royal family, is what the other person said. So let me just do a quick search because I obviously like was only quite would have been quite young when this fucking happened. So I am sort of familiar with it, but obviously I am not super familiar with it. Princess Diana's death. Okay, let's see what it says, how she died. And so Diana, Princess of Wales, she died 31st of August 1997. Okay, so I would have only been about 5 years old then.
97.
Okay, here we go. We've got how she died.
5. Yeah.
It says here, in the early hours of the 31st of August 1997, Diana, Princess of Wales, died in hospital after being injured in a car crash in a road tunnel in Paris. Okay, so this jogs my memory. I do remember she was killed in a car crash, but some people did believe that she was killed on purpose. Let me read on and see what it says. It says her partner, Dodie Fade, and the driver of the Mercedes-Benz, Henry Paul, were pronounced dead at the scene. Their bodyguard, Trevor Rees-Jones, survived with serious injuries. Some media claim that the erratic behaviour of the paparazzi following the car, as reported by the BBC, had contributed to the crash. In 1999, a French investigation found that Paul, who lost control of the vehicle at high speed while intoxicated by alcohol and under the effects of prescription drugs, was solely responsible for the crash. He was a deputy head of security at the Hotel Ritz and had earlier goaded paparazzi waiting for Diana and Fade outside the hotel. Antidepressants and traces of an antipsychotic in his blood may have worsened Paul's fuck's sakes. Inebriation. There we go. Fuck. In 2008, the jury on a British inquest returned a verdict of unlawful killing, though through grossly negligent driving by Paul and the paparazzi for following vehicles. Okay, so apparently Rees Jones survived because he was wearing a seatbelt. None of the other occupants of the car were wearing seatbelts. So the one guy who survived, he was wearing a seatbelt. The guy who was driving, he was drunk, driving crazy. He had antidepressants and antipsychotics in his system, and he goaded the paparazzi, who then followed the car and stuff, and were chasing after him, whatever. So yeah, it was ruled that he it was ruled as an unlawful killing. So obviously it was not fuck me, why can't I talk today? It wasn't intentional, but he obviously like fucking, you know, all those things that he fucking did were not cool and caused or contributed to, at the very least, towards the death. So yeah. Dang. Now let's see if it's going to be about what people believe happened, because obviously that is like what has been ruled as what happened.
Sure.
Okay, here we go. Conspiracy theories. Of course, there's a section for it. Although the initial French investigation found that Diana had died as a result of an accident, several conspiracy theories have been raised. Since February 1998, Fade's father, Mohammed Al Fade, I don't know if I'm saying that name right, but I hope I am, has claimed that the crash was a result of a conspiracy and later contended that the crash was orchestrated by MI6 on the instructions of the royal family. His claims were dismissed by a French judicial investigation and by Operation Paget, a Metropolitan Police Service inquiry that concluded in 2006. Fuck, that lasted a long ass time. An inquest headed by Lord Justice Scott Baker into the deaths of Diana and Fade began at the Royal Courts of Justice, London, on 2nd of October 2007, a continuation of the inquest that began in 2004. On April 2008, the jury concluded that Diana and Fade were the victims of an unlawful killing by the grossly negligent fucking just what is wrong with my mouth?
Negligent.
There we go. Chauffeur Paul and the drivers of the following vehicles. Additional, I believe that's probably paparazzi that were chasing them. Additional factors were the impairment of the judgment of the driver of the Mercedes through alcohol, and the death of the deceased was caused by and contributed by the fact that the deceased was not wearing a seatbelt, and the fact that the Mercedes struck the pillar in the Alma tunnel rather than colliding with something else. So if had a like, you know, swerved a different way or something like that, there's a good chance they might not have died, or there's a better chance they might not have died. If they were wearing seatbelts, they might have actually been fine. I'm not 100% sure if they did rule like whether or not that, you know, they would have been okay if they were wearing the seatbelts. They might still have died. I don't know. Obviously, your chances increase somewhat by wearing the seatbelt, because what the other person in the car obviously didn't die that was wearing the seatbelt. So it doesn't really go into detail, but it just touches on the fact that some people believe that it was, obviously they used that guy to, like, you know, whether or not it was MI6 or the royal family or whatever, used that guy to basically to murder her, kill her off, and use him as a scapegoat, basically, I guess, in this situation. I honestly don't know enough about Princess Diana and why the royal family would want to kill her off. Like, maybe they didn't like her for some reason. I don't know anything much about that, to be honest. Do you really know anything?
I think from what my mother was really obsessed with her back in the day, and I remember her saying that she would always detest things that she didn't like in like the royal family, like things that are obviously now not cool at all, right? So I don't know specifics of anything. All I know is that she was very nice, very sort of like loving, caring sort of person, and anything they sort of did that was against the community, she had something to say about and would fight for it.
Yeah.
She was like, nah, like didn't want her boys sort of like in it.
This is more of a situation of like she's you know, standing up for herself or saying like, no, I don't agree with that, or I won't go along with that. And as a member of the royal family, they're like, you know, you must do what we tell you to do. Yeah. Like, and you know, I mean, it's, even though I can understand, like, I mean, I can to some extent, I can sort of see where that is coming from, but if that's true, obviously, because I don't know anything about it, but
Sure.
I can maybe, but it's still, I find it a little bit hard to believe. I'm like, it's not medieval times, like
No.
you know, where you were just off
Yeah.
with the head if you disagreed with, you know, if you're in the royal family, you disagree with another
Anybody,
royal
yeah.
family member. You know what I mean? I feel like I do think it's possible, but I just think it's improbable, and I am leaning towards saying that I don't believe this one, but also I feel like I don't have enough information. I think it's plausible. I just don't really think it happened. I think it's more likely that the chauffeur, you know, no seatbelt, the chauffeur, the paparazzi, where they hit when they crashed, all those things contributed to her death. And I don't know, I find it hard to believe like that. I don't know. I just find it hard to for some, like, even in the, if I mean, I get it, they're the royal family, but like still, what
Sure.
the fuck, like you can't just, I mean, who just murders somebody, you know,
Because
it
you
murders somebody
disagree.
off in the family, like, yes, you know, people did that a long ass time ago in royal families, you know. But like I just feel like it feels a bit recent for that sort of, I don't know. Am I being naive? Maybe I am. I think I'm going to
Um,
have to end what I think there, because if anybody wants to educate me about anything, if they want to let me know down below in the comments
yeah,
why
by all
you think
means.
Princess Diana was murdered by the royal family, or MI16 if that's something you believe, or whatever else it is, feel free to let me know
Uh,
why, so I can
yeah.
come on that journey with you, because I just feel like I'm not quite, I'm missing too much information.
I think it's a very easy cop out to just say that, oh, it's a conspiracy that they killed her. Because
Yeah.
it's like they weren't wearing seatbelts, first of all, so I don't know what you expect was going to happen.
Right.
It's like, oh, but it was the time, you know. I was like, no, everyone was wearing the seatbelts, dog. I don't know about you and like in your limo and shit, but like maybe they would have survived.
Mm. I
Like
mean,
that's
yeah, it doesn't say
horrifying.
in that report that I read whether or not I don't know if they ever even sort of tried to figure out, you know, if they would have survived with seatbelts on or anything like that. But it didn't have that information in what I read just there. So
Like, was this their driver for the entire time they were, you
it
know,
seemed like it
around?
said he was their chauffeur. So like he must
Okay, so
have
he had a
You would
history of
think he'd
drugs
have a
and
regular.
alcohol, and it just,
Hmm.
you know, took him off. Like, it's so hard. Like, it's easy to kind of believe that maybe they did. Maybe this can be conspiracy that, maybe they did get
Yeah.
to her and kill her. It makes sense. Because you
Right.
have this one way of doing things and you don't like anybody.
Yeah.
If you had the money and the power to do so, you do
Yeah.
it.
I mean, yeah. I that's why I said plausible still. I want to say plausible still, but it's also a contributing thing. Maybe it's not. But to me, it feels like maybe it's sadder to just know, like, okay, she died. She wasn't wearing a seatbelt. This guy, he was
Right.
like, you know, off his titties. The paparazzi were
Yeah.
just fucking, you know, wouldn't leave them alone.
Yeah.
Is it sadder to believe that that is the truth than
That's
there
horrible.
was some like secret, you know, cover up or something like that? Maybe that could
Yeah.
be another reason as well. I'm
Maybe.
just something to think about. There is one other last guy here, and you mentioned this to me the other day, so I think you're going to find this one interesting. The last one
All
here
right.
I've got mentioned is the moon landing. So this person believes the moon landing was not real.
Okay. You want me to go?
Yeah, Doug.
Oh, look. I don't know. Maybe it's my I'm not saying we didn't go. Like I'm not convinced that we didn't go. I'm more saying that I don't know how, with the technology of the time, did we get a signal from the moon to Earth? Even
Right.
a bad one.
So you were kind of thinking that you don't believe the whole thing is fake, but
No.
you are open to believing that maybe some of it is faked, like the footage, or like the where they're talking, or the actual footage
Yeah.
itself of them on the moon. I don't know how far, like, if you straight up don't believe it, or if you just like maybe don't believe it.
It's hard to believe, that's for sure. It's something that's just crazy. It's like we left the earth.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a crazy ass thing, but also
Again, I don't understand the science of it. I'm not a scientist.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
a simpleton.
I'm
Like-
fucking. Yeah, I'm also a simpleton. I do believe for myself though. I don't believe it's fake. I just think it's. If we watched it the other day. Remember that was so.
Oh yeah.
That's when we talked about this the first time, which is why we're
Yeah.
going to skim over this one a little bit. But we actually watched the original footage and everything, like all the bits of footage and communication between the moon landing and Earth, whatever. And the guy's just like bouncing around the moon, and he's like singing and shit. It's honestly so stupid that I can see why some people would think it's fake, but I honestly think it's that dumb that it's 100% real. Like, I look at it and I go, if I was on the moon, I would be fucking bouncing around, making dumbass noises.
Yeah.
I honestly think it's too dumb to be fake. I honestly think that's what convinced me. I'm like, this is going to be real because it's just so stupid. But I can understand why for other people that would be a red flag and be like, what is this guy doing? Like, why is he bouncing around singing and shit? Like, no, this isn't real. Like, people don't do that. I'm like, yes, that is what people do though. Like, for me, that it makes it real because I honestly believe that's what just a normal ass person would do if they went to the moon. They'd be like, look at me on this fucking rock of cheese, you know? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh goodness, yeah. No, I get you completely. Like when we watched it, because I hadn't watched it in years,
and
I just sort of had this sort of like, it feels like I've almost watched an extended version about what we've watched just now.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I didn't see the part where he's like just giddy jumping around because there is like, there is gravity, but it's very like light, so you can sort of bob up and down. He's just having a good time. There's not this like serious one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like
it's not like that at all. He like gets out, and he's like, woo!
Maybe that's a contributing thing as well. Like maybe it's just so overdone. Like this is such a, is it a serious thing? I mean, it is fucking. It's a scientific, like fucking marvel that we went to the moon. It is obviously somewhat serious, but like it's just like, oh, serious all the time. Like here's this quote from the one guy only, and only this quote, and you get nothing else. I'm like, what the fuck? If I was a child and I got to see that guy dancing around the fucking moon, that would have been the best shit ever. I don't want that fucking, I don't need Neil Armstrong and his one step over and over and over. Like, where's the guy on the moon having a good ass time? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they were just like, look at us, we're on the fucking moon. This is magical.
Yeah.
That's
like
what they
how
were like.
crazy is that?
Exactly. So I honestly think this is not fake, but I want to say obviously it is plausible that it's plausible. I just don't think it is fake. But also in saying that if that tape is fake, like I'm not even mad about it. It was good. I was like eating that shit up. I was like, look at these guys.
Yeah.
I was like, did they bring their crackers like Wallace and Gromit so they can fucking eat some cheese?
Oh, I wish that was true, that the moon was cheese. I'd go there in a heartbeat. Alrighty, guys. I think we have yapped our chops a million times over talking about conspiracy theory. We could be here all day. We could be here for 20 plus hours, like just talking about this shit. But I think we better stop it here and pick it up in part 2, which will be for Christmas. Yes.
Yeah, guys. So we post a new episode every Saturday morning. Catch us next, I think it'll be Boxing Day, the day after Christmas, when our next podcast is released. And yeah, like Trashy said, that'll be part 2 of this conspiracy theory chat. We've still got a few more conspiracy fuck me. That's it, I'm done. Yeah. We've still got a couple more of these to cover. I can't even say simple words now. What's happening? All right, fuck it. Bye, guys. See you for Christmas.
Bye.
See you later.